So in this recipe, which I think is the best steak sandwich I've ever had in my life, I didn't want the big hero to be just the steak. I wanted it to really be everything. I want to create a texture and flavour out of these humble white onions that really are incredible. And how do we do that? Well, you ain't going to do that by just frying it. You ain't going to do that by just slicing it. You've got to kind of put some real love into this. I'm going to make my onions sweet and sour, with sourness coming from red wine vinegar and sweetness from sugar and caramelisation. They'll take longer to cook than the steak, so I've got to get them on first. Cut them about 2 centimetres thick. Now, the outside layer gets a little bit tough, so I'm just going to click these out. Just use it for salads or soups or whatever. And whether you're going to turn these onions into this beautiful steak sandwich, or whether they're kind of going to go into an amazing mega salad, or on a pizza, or kind of folded through a risotto, or with roast potatoes just for the last 5 minutes so they all kind of cook into each other, this onion dish is legit, whatever you want to do with it. So let's turn it on, and let me show you how to make the best onions. Get your pan on a medium heat and add some olive oil, a good knob of butter, and 70 grams of dark brown sugar. Then let it all melt down together. 3 or 4 nice little leaves of bay. So I'm just going to lay those in like that. And then we go in with the onions. And what I'm trying to create is buttery, soft onions that just fall apart when you bite into that steak sandwich. That's what I want. Season the onions and cook them for 5 to 10 minutes to give them a sweet caramelised bottom. Once you've done onions like this, you'll keep doing it and doing it and doing it. And I can smell caramel right now. So I'm going to turn this down. And I'm going to go in with the vinegar, red wine vinegar. About 125 millilitres of vinegar. That's going to stop the frying and caramelisation process, and what it's going to do, it'll just start poaching. Lid goes on. We'll let them simmer away on a gentle heat for about 30-35 minutes. Let's get back to the steak. A little quick marination. I'm going to use rosemary on the bottom and on the top, and then I'm going to use one of these old meat hammers, and let's pound the rosemary into the beef to give it flavour and bring out the oils in the rosemary. Bashing the beef will tenderise it as well as flavour it, and it will give you the chance to get the steak to the same thickness as the onions, which to me is the key for a perfectly balanced sandwich. Like that, a little olive oil on the plate and a little bit on the meat. Leave this out at room temperature while these onions cook. And one thing to remember is, when cooking steak, never take it from the fridge and just cook it. Really cold, really hot, muscle, tense, tough. And then when it rests, too much liquid will come out instead of stay inside the meat. An hour and a half at room temperature, happy days. So, onions on, meat marinating, we've got a ciabatta. I'll just heat that in an oven, and then we'll make the best steak sandwich. These are basically cooked now. You can see they've kind of shrunk. It's got dark and gnarly. Oh, the onions are gorgeous. Turn them over in the vinegary caramel, then leave the onions to cool while you cook your steak. We want that screaming hot. Let's season up this meat with sea salt and pepper on both sides. Then put just a cheap filtered olive oil into the pan. I'm going to put in the lovely steak, and I'm going to turn that every minute until it's cooked to my liking. I'll take just tiny little knobs of butter, and they'll start to discolour and burn and go beurre noisette. It'll be really, really good. Once it's had that nice first minute, we'll have a little turn. Shake the oil and welcome it back. Beautiful. Perfect time for a little glass of IPA. Fry the steak, turning throughout for 3 minutes on each side if you like it tender and medium. For a rare or juicy steak, reduce the time a little. Just be careful not to overcook it, because this particular cut of beef will toughen up. I think we're in a good place now. We've amplified the absolute maximum of flavour in that, and now we're going to put it in that. Get yourself a nice big plate, and we'll turn off the heat. And there, all the sizzle. I'm just going to steal a little bit of that cooking fat there. Not too much, just a little bit. And what's going to happen now is incredibly important. The meat is going to rest. All of those lovely juices are going to come out of here, and that is what we're going to dunk our bread in. Don't let any of that go. So we'll just let that sit for a second. Ciabatta, just warmed through in the oven, is the perfect bread for a great steak sandwich. So look, that's why I chose the ciabatta. Look how crispy it is, which is a good thing. And then here, it's just spongy and gorgeous and comforting. So time to make this incredible Scooby snack. First up, let's get the amazing beef. Turn it around in that juice, and that's to protect it. As soon as any meat comes out of the roast or off the grill, it starts to dehydrate and it starts to dry up, then it goes tough. So keep it loved with fat and juices. We go straight over to our chopping board. Now, if you notice, the skirt, you know, the grain of the meat goes this way, running this way. So I want to cut against that. That helps to tenderize it. And I'm going to cut the same thickness as the onions. Okay, so now it's about 1 centimetre because they've all shrunk a little bit. Pour the resting juices onto your board so the ciabatta can soak up all that flavour evenly. Then spread on some English mustard for a kick. Next up, our amazing onions. Just look at that, very beautiful. Look at the way it just falls apart. So exciting. And this juice here, give a little kiss of it to each little bit of onion. And then it's time to go on with our gorgeous steak. That wonderful cut of skirt. If you look into it, it's tender. You can see it's tender, look. Just run a few across like this. This is proper, this is. So we're going to go in with some watercress. Now, this is an opportunity as well, just to put a bit of zing through the story. Just a good handful of watercress with some lemon juice and a pinch of salt, and pile it up onto your sandwich. Be generous. That lovely, gorgeous, irony hit of lemony watercress. Pop the top on and you're done. One mighty treat that's enough for 4. That, my friends, is a steak sandwich. Honestly, burgers aren't just burgers anymore. There's a new level set. So first up, let's talk about the meat. Now, this is chuck steak. Go to your butchers and ask him for chuck steak. It's got incredible flavour, an amazing mix of fat, isn't it?
It's the classic meat for a classic burger.
And notice, no flavouring, no herbs, no seasoning. We're treating it like a steak. Divide it into 4. So that's 800 grams here, that's 200 gram patties. You want to make your patties just a bit bigger than the bun because you will get some shrinkage.
And you want to press it enough just so it holds together, but you don't want to over press it where it becomes too dense. You want holes in there so when that fat kind of breaks down, it just flavors all that beautiful meat. There's my imperfect perfection right there, a little bit of jagged.
So kind of perfect is not perfect. Imperfect
is perfect.
But of course, it's not just about the burger. You need all the extras. I'm making 2 pickles. One, simply with a few crinkle-cut gherkins and a little bit of chilli. The chilies in there are kind of a nice bonus. Plus a second with finely sliced red onion, white wine vinegar and a pinch of salt. Just let them marinate. Pickles are kind of important, aren't they?
They are.
You know, that sweetness, that saltiness, that tang.
This is the taste of my summers in Iowa. My grandma used to do this with onions, that kind of vinegar, and cucumbers.
What was your childhood then? Around a barbecue?
It was around a barbecue. My dad taught me to barbecue from the age of 8, and we would just do this. Burgers and the onions
Steaks.
and the vinegars and steaks.
Chicken.
And make his grandpa's secret sauce. Are you doing a secret sauce?
Well, I'm going to do a bit of a J sauce.
Okay.
This is basically harking back to days in the 80s when I was living in the pub. So I've got 2 heaped tablespoons of mayo, 1 tablespoon of ketchup. Worcestershire sauce, important. Just a little swig or 2 of that. There is a new discovery, Tabasco, but Chipotle Tabasco. Okay.
It's smoky, kind of hot flavor, man.
Oh my God.
I love this
The
stuff.
Chipotle rocks. And then a little swig, a little tinkle of bourbon. Okay. You could use brandy, but bourbon feels good.
That was a tinkle of bourbon right there.
Was that all right?
That was a good amount, man.
Sometimes it's nice to put a little lemon juice in there to give it some tang. Sometimes you can steal a little bit of vinegar from over there, bro. Go on.
Yeah.
And just a tiny dribble of your onion vinegar. I like it. I like it.
It's good.
I'm going to hit it up with more Tabasco.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, that's what it needs.
One of the things that really we learned from the American fast food, they'll have iceberg through that. I've been really anti-iceberg for a long, long time.
Thanks for coming back.
I've come back. Bit of compost.
You're welcome, Earth.
When it kind of gets dressed in that, the crunch does go, but not totally. It's kind of like half soft, half crunchy. And this, for me, is really the perfect base to kind of welcome the burger.
I'm nicking this, dude. This is a really good
Yeah, you happy about this?
Yeah, really good. Let's do it. Let's get grilling.
Pat the burgers with oil, then season with salt and pepper.
And actually, 2 at a time is a nice number, I think, if you're going to really take care of it. You can see already like the fat starting to cinder off, hit the coals, and that sort of pelting smoke back up and kissing the meat. This is what barbecue's all about.
Yeah, it is.
Whether it's charcoal or wood.
Well, there's flavor in the fuel down there. There's flavor in the wood and the charcoal. So there's all these layers of flavor, not just the meat and the seasoning, but the fuel.
And you wouldn't get that from a fry pan.
No.
Or an oven or a grill.
Or a gas grill.
Absolutely. Is that your enemy, gas grill?
Man, that's sacrilege. It's like, why come outside?
There's kind of an interesting procedure that can give you an incredibly succulent, juicy burger. You go and get the American style mustard, and we go get a paintbrush, sear one side of the burger, and then we turn it. And then that seared side, we brush, and then we sear the mustard seared side. And then we brush the other side. So we do 2 normal cooks and then 2 mustard cooks. And that creates a pretty special burger. This is going to create a lovely, sweet and kind of hummy, gorgeous mustard bark. So now we just got to wait, guys.
That's cool.
My friend, can you possibly pass me the bacon? It ain't bacon unless it's smoked bacon. For me, that's like the best sight in cooking, when the fat's doing that and you just know you're caramelizing and creating flavor. Sometimes good things can't be rushed, you know? Now, I've got some cheese. So I just want 2 nice slices. I'm using red Leicester.
I dubbed thee King of the Grill.
This British cheese has a lovely nutty flavour, but you can use any cheese you fancy as long as it's a good tasty melter.
This is a really important stage now in the perfection of the burger. Now just look around. We got burger, it's on its last stage, okay? And Christian's spinning a bowl. And now
Oh, it's like a,
we put the dome over.
yeah.
Okay, so we're trapping smoke. Also, this is gonna get hot. Like, I can't put my hand on it anymore, okay? So that's turning into an oven. And it's just gonna let that cheese just kind of like melt, just sag. But also, look, the bacon's looking very, very beautiful. So I'm just gonna pop this little dome off.
It's already starting to do its magic,
You can see
man.
it's starting to do its magic. And I'm just gonna pop the bacon on top.
Seriously, that is gorgeous.
In that pan is amazing smoky bacon fat.
You're not going there with the
I am.
rolls, are you?
I am.
You are next level, bro.
This is a brioche bun. Nice, soft, spongy to sort of suck up all the juices that rest out of the burger.
Look at it, perfect. Dude, a tear trickles down the side of my cheek right now. That's how happy I am, tears of joy.
Now for that special moment, the build.
The sauce and the lettuce, that's the first welcoming to the party. The thing is, I want to put more, but you've got to restrain yourself when it comes to the perfect equation of the perfect burger. So just take it to the edge.
It's the right balance, man. You want everything to sing. You want all, it's a band. That burger is a band, and you gotta have the drummer, you gotta have the guitar player, and that's the lead singer right there.
Ah. The mustard bark, zingy, crunchy pickles, tomato ketchup on that toasted brioche dipped in bacon fat. It's all those little details that make this burger perfect.
I like how that red Leicester is just properly just coated it. That little gap right there with the cheese coming through, that little cavern of cheese just going, oh.
I think we have to just eat it now.
Okay.
Can I get you prepared?
Yeah, prepare me for the ridiculousness that I'm gonna feast upon.
Okay, arms up.
Are you excited?
Are you?
I'm excited, dude.
Me too.
3, 2, 1, mange.
Mm. Oh, wow. It's so good.
That is amazing.
We're gonna make the most incredible British burger, the most amazing homemade patty, red Leicester burger sauce, pimped up with pulled oxtail. A British burger like you've never seen before. We're gonna start with oxtail. And before you run away and say, no, you've got to stay with me on this because it's next level stuff. So I've got 1 kilo of oxtail here. You can get it in any butcher's. So some basic seasoning with salt and pepper. And then we're gonna go into a pan and we're gonna brown it off. So you have the benefit of the bone and the marrow, and it gives you a kind of depth of flavor that's amazing. Let's get it really dark and golden and gorgeous. I want this amazing ultimate British burger to represent Britain. Cue the music. That's enough. And I want it to have texture, so patty, melted cheese, pulled meats. But when we put it together with the burger sauce, I want to be able, wait for it, to dip it in gravy. Filthy. I love it. So that's going to make the pulled meat and the gravy. So as that cooks, I'm going to add some onions and a really good shake of Worcestershire sauce. And then what I want to do, because remember we are doing a gravy, 4 tablespoons of flour. So I'll take the oxtail out now and put it into a little casserole pan, just caring enough to start getting colour even on the flour. And it's all going to add to the richness of the gravy. A little seasoning and 1.5 litres of vegetable, chicken stock, beef stock, whatever you've got to hand. So let's just take that stock over the oxtail. And then I'm just going to cover it in a little greaseproof paper and then bring in the tin foil, cover it nice and tight like that, into the oven at 180 degrees Celsius, 350 Fahrenheit, and just let that oxtail slow cook for 3 to 4 hours until the meat falls off the bone. And this is going to give you loads of time to get on with your weekend. Go do some stuff, knowing full well that something very special is about to happen. So when the time is up, have a look at that, guys. Oh, it smells so good. And you know what? It reminds me of my dear old nanny Betty. She used to love cooking this. The meat just falls off the bone. It's so, so good. Here is the gravy, by the way. Just skim off this fat and then push the gravy through a coarse sieve. You don't have to do it, but I quite like a finer gravy, right? I think it's a bit more elegant. And then these chunky bits can go back into our pulled meat. Just put a fresh swig of Worcestershire sauce in there. And then you can take a herb like parsley just to give it a little bit of contrast. And that on our burger is going to be amazing. I'll pop that in the oven and turn the oven off, okay, just to keep it warm. So, let's make the burger sauce. Let's get our pickle. It will give you tang and crunch.
Then lettuce is surprisingly sweet. And then tomatoes, get an overripe one, and that'll have wonderful flavour. Season it with salt and pepper, and then just dress it in a little yogurt. Look at that. I love it. So now is patty time. I love the chuck steak. It has a natural mix of fat and muscle and flavour. Don't overthink it. Roll it up, squash it out. Happy days. 4 fine little patties. I'm just gonna season it, and then we go into the pan. So give it about a minute and a half, and then turn it. Get some English mustard. And you want a little teaspoon on there. English mustard is quite hot, but actually when it cooks, it calms. And we're gonna flip it again. So it's gonna have 4 turns. Minute and a half, brush, minute and a half, right? And then just lay your red Leicester cheese over the top. And now, very importantly, find a little lid to put on top. The great thing about that bowl is it creates like a little bit of steam that just makes the cheese ooze. Jiggle that bun around in some of that rendered fat and gorgeousness. A nice bun only requires a few little minutes. It's the time to show you the ultimate burger. Let's get the oxtail out of the oven. Look at that. Oh my Lord. We take the burger sauce, 2 little spoons. Look at that. And that ooze is a thing of beauty. Incredible oxtail. Oh my Lord, behave. And then a little bun on top. But we ain't done yet, because remember, we made that gravy. And then you dip it. There's no polite way to eat this. It's gonna be messy, but it's gonna be one of the nicest things you eat. Pure indulgence. Oh, you're gonna love this recipe. This one is a cracker. This is Harissa roast chicken with sweet potatoes, crispy chickpeas, tortillas, and a chili and yogurt dip. It's so good. It's a kind of feasting dish, and it's really affordable, guys, and such fun to make and eat. So let's do it. The story begins with a little vinegar, but it's gonna be propped up by a secret little ingredient, harissa paste. This is North African chili paste. It is not super hot. It's quite mild. It's got layer upon layer of flavor. So we're gonna use 2 teaspoons, and this is gonna literally reinvent your roast chicken. This is the base for 3 ingredients, so we're keeping this recipe simple. First up, chickpeas. We'll go straight in to this tray. Sweet potatoes. We're gonna treat them like a jacket potato, right? So just throw them in whole. Easy, easy, easy. So we're using a free-range chicken. You buy what you can afford, okay? But this chicken is gonna go in this tray, and we're gonna rub it up, and everything is going to be tossed in that beautiful harissa dressing. And look, let's just talk about healthy little swaps, okay? Look, potatoes, delicious, love them. Sweet potatoes, however, nutritionally much more robust and delicious. Get the chicken, put it breast side down, some seasoning. Let's wash my hands properly. So in the oven, it goes for 1 hour and 20 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius. So the chicken is in the oven. Just go and chill out, literally for 1 hour. And turn the chicken halfway through. The chickpeas will get crispy, the sweet potatoes will get soft. And as we sort of baste it and turn the chicken around, flavor galore. What I need to do now is a really beautiful but simple slaw. So I'm going to use carrots, red cabbage, apples. I'm going to dress this slaw with a little olive oil, and then I'm going to use some vinegar. This is red wine vinegar. You can use white wine vinegar. Get the apple and grate the whole thing, core and all. So the carrots, we're not even going to peel it. If you wanted to use up other vegetables in your fridge so you're not wasting things, go for it. With our red cabbage, I just need 1/4. For me, what I love about this is you take everyday, humble, really affordable things and make things that are kind of frumpy, exciting. Look at that. Come on. Look at the colours. So give it a nice mix up, have a taste. Oh my Lord, the sweetness, the acidity, the tang, the crunch, I love it. If you wanted it to be a creamy slaw, just add a little bit of yogurt. Really, really good, and so much healthier than mayonnaise, a brilliant, healthy swap. Now I have an optional extra. I'm using a bit of mint because I just love it. It's nice in the slaw. It'll be nice over the dish at the end. Beautiful. Right, let's get this chicken out of the oven. Oh, it smells incredible. Come on!
Look at that. Absolutely delicious. It's juicy. So you can tell if the chicken's cooked, if the juices run clear. This is cooked. We're gonna let it rest now. Take this sweet potato and just bust it open like that. Look at the color. It's very hot. You might want to use a pair of tongs. Come on, look at that. Hot and steamy. Just pour those juices and the chickpeas over the chicken. These are so tasty. Those little bits of extra mint, if you've got them, absolutely beautiful. Now, we need the tortilla. I'm using a brilliant healthy swap. So this is the whole wheat tortillas. You're gonna get more fiber than a regular white tortilla. Warm these up, 30 seconds. Last but not least, if you take a little yogurt, it has this incredible cooling, refreshing effect. Take a tiny bit of that harissa and marble it. Beautiful. Tortillas, load it up with a nice amount of that slaw. Shred the chicken. So look at this, guys. It's gonna be delicious. Really nice. Sweet potatoes. Get those amazing chickpeas as well. Look at that. Flavors galore. So look, this recipe will feed 6 people, but even if it's 2 or 4 of you, you've got leftovers galore. You'll use all of this. Nothing will go to waste. That harissa yogurt. And it's a little party in your mouth, I'm telling you. Absolutely delicious. So come on, let's have a little taste. It's messy, don't care. That's what I love. It's so tasty. You got the light chili, you got that juicy, juicy chicken, and those beautiful, crispy little chickpeas with that fresh kick of the slaw. So guys, honestly, it's messy, it's delicious. I think you're gonna love it.